Welcome to day 29 of 40 seconds for 40 days. Today's quick snippet will not just be for day 29, but also 30, 31, and 32, as we are here standing on Erev Rosh Hashanah before the beginning of the new year. And there's a beautiful story that's told about the Bluzheva Rebbe, Rabbi Yisrael Spira, who during the times of the Holocaust found himself in one of the barracks, in one of the camps, and one of the capos found him and said, "I have a letter to deliver to you." He opens his hands, he gets this crumpled up piece of paper, and he sees that there's a letter written inside by an individual who was in one of the ghettos. And the letter essentially said the following: "I know that they are about to kill myself and all of the other residents of the ghetto. I know," he said, "that the time is coming to an end for me and all of those who are around me. The only thing that they are debating right now, the only reason why they have not yet murdered us, is because they're trying to figure out how they are going to do it. Will they put us in a gas chamber? Will they murder us in cold blood by shooting us execution style? It's not entirely clear how it's going to happen, but we know the end is quite near." And he writes this letter to the Bluzheva Rebbe, and he says to him, "I want you to do me a favor. Please, if this letter reaches to you, I ask that, God willing, when you survive the war, that you go and one day dedicate a Torah scroll in my memory and in all of our memories." He says, "My wife," the person writing this letter, "my wife was shot just yesterday, the day before he was writing this. And he knew that his end was coming near. And he says, please just make that promise to me, make that commitment to me to write a Sefer Torah in our memory." And he says, "In one additional note, my sister's children are staying in the home of a Gentile family, righteous Gentiles, and please ensure that they are rescued from there as well, so that they could go on to live a Jewish life." The Bluzheva Rebbe was known to have taken this letter around with him. Oh, and there was also a $50 that the man put in to the letter. And the Bluzheva Rebbe was known to have taken this money, and I believe the letter as well, around with him for many, many years. Years had passed, and the Bluzheva Rebbe found himself in the United States, and he found himself at a certain Malava Malka fundraiser type of event, and he decides for the first time to read the letter to a crowd of individuals. And as he's reading the letter, he's choked up, he's bawling from this horrific scene described by this man in the letter. And he says, "Please, if you're able to give some funds to help us write the Sefer Torah, please do so." And he collects the money, and they dedicate the Sefer Torah in memory of this special kadosh, the special individual who managed in his final moments to write such a precious and coherent letter, knowing that the end was near. These were the thoughts, this was the request that he had. We know that this past year has been horrific. 5784 will go down for so many of us, for our entire people, as one of the most memorable years for all of the wrong reasons. We also know that there were so many beautiful hidden small miracles, sometimes even large miracles, sometimes beautiful moments of this past year. Within the darkness, we found that light. And it's important for us as we go into the brand new year to reflect on all that we have suffered, all that we have experienced, but also all that we have been able to accomplish as a people and as a nation. And this letter, this story, and this past year continues to remind us of one central theme, and that is Mika Amcha Yisrael. Who is like the Jewish people, who have the strength, the courage, and the fortitude to continue fighting, to continue striving, to continue moving forward, to not just live another day, but to flourish in the next day and in the future. We are a special nation, and this has been a devastating year. And we hope and pray, God willing, that this year will be a little bit different. It will be a year of celebration and not, God forbid, the opposite like this past year has been. We hope and pray that we're able to breach through the gates of the heavens with our tefillot, with our prayers, and that everything that we hope for, yearn for as individuals, as our community, and as a nation comes true. That we're able to finally bring about the redemption b'mehira v'yaminu speedily in our days, and that God willing we will find a time, we will reach a moment in our history of besurot tovot, of only good news. Hashem should bless every single one of us to be written, inscribed, and sealed in the book of life this year for a year of happiness, health, joy, and success in every which way. Wishing everyone a beautiful day and a Chag Sameach.